Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is John. I am off in Car Garage. We're located in Abington, and that's in the state of Massachusetts, which is about 30 minutes or so south of Boston. The car here in front of us is about as American as apple pie. Uncle Sam himself. This is a Mustang from the Ford Motor Company, of course. Needs very little introduction. And it's from the first generation of Mustang, 1966 to be exact. And in my estimation, the 1966 is the prettiest of the first generation Mustang for the styling cues that they gave it that year. Certainly not a rare car. Ford sold over 1 million of these cars by the time the 1966 model rolled out, or thereabouts, with over 425,000 1966 two-door coupes built alone. So we're not talking about a rare car, but what we're talking about is a rare car to find in this condition, with this history and this documentation. This car was sold brand new in Pasadena, California, delivered to the Los Angeles Ford District, as proven on the body data plate on the driver's door. And it stayed with its original owner until 1994. So from 1966 to 1994, it stayed with its original owner in Southern California. The color of this car is perfectly California. Tahoe turquoise, Ford called it, and it is the original color this car was born with. We know that because we have the original window sticker and such. A 289 V8 car. Lots of the right boxes were checked on this car. This is a C code 289, which means it's a two-barrel carburetor under that air cleaner. We've got some GT style wheels that would be correct for this car, but were added later on. And a dealer installed, when new, vinyl roof, which sets the car off beautifully. How do we know that was dealer installed? There's a notation on it from the dealer on the original paperwork that we have for the car. As we go around, you'll see that some other liberties were taken as far as the GT style trumpet dual exhaust coming out of that lower valance. This car was restored fully by its second owner, also being from California. And I believe this car was restored around 1997. Again, full documentation on that restoration. We've got 2 full binders of paperwork on this car that will go with the car, and I'll briefly show that during this video. Although this car apparently was painted and restored in 1997, it is held up exceptionally well. A little bit of a crack there, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to go around and try to point out any little flaws that I can find. A little bubble here in the paint. They're all minor, but I'm going to show them to you. 2025 inspection sticker. This car is driven here in Massachusetts regularly. I'll show a little bit of a scratch here on the front edge of the hood. Again, not a big deal. One of the things I like about the 1966 over the 64.5 and 5 is the grille. Gone are the grill bars that went from side to side on the earlier cars. I love the floating pony there on the 66 grill. Also in 66, the car got its own dash cluster. It was no longer borrowing the one from the Ford Falcon, which was a nice thing. So again, the original owner of this car passed it on to its second owner in 1994. Its second owner did a lot of the restoration work. This was always a rust-free California car. So what you're looking at is a car with all of its original sheet metal. There is no body filler in this car. There were no patch panels in this car. Everything on this car, as far as sheet metal goes, is its original panels. Just everything was nicely refinished. We have pictures of the car being painted prior to its paint, and the original Tahoe turquoise being completely stripped down to bare metal. And you can see in the pictures there is no body corrosion that they needed to deal with. There's no body filler. That was the vehicle's second owner, also from Southern California, I believe San Diego. The car was then sold to somebody in Texas, I believe Sugarland, Texas. So the car went from Southern California to Texas in the early 2000s, and then found its way over to Louisiana, where it stayed with its next owner or two. So it's had a few owners since its restoration, but obviously well loved by all of them. And then our most current owner purchased the car out of Louisiana and had it shipped to the North Shore of Massachusetts, I believe around 2019. So before 2019, this car had never been anywhere near a snowflake, and still has not, because it's only been used here and during summer warmer weather car shows and cruises and things like that. The car has held up exceptionally well, as you can see. Just a fantastic color. Go quickly here on the interior. Now, Ford called this a deluxe interior option, commonly referred to as pony interior because of the galloping ponies embossed in the back of the seats. This car was not born with this interior. There's two ways I know that. Number one, that body tag again here on the driver's door shows that the car was built with a standard interior in aqua color. And also we have pictures of the restoration from 1997 that show the standard interior. So one of its owners, somewhere after 1997, changed the interior over to this stunning and correct deluxe interior option. So they added this option to the car much later in life with all the correct fabrics, vinyls, panels. They even added the correct courtesy lights here at the bottom of the door. Those would not be on a standard interior Mustang. While I'm over here, I'll show you this door panel. It's rather loose. We've tried to fix it as best we can, but it really needs to be replaced. The door panel was removed at one point, presumably to replace the door latch, because I see a receipt for a door latch here. And in doing so, the installer broke a lot of the clips on the top of this door panel. This is obviously not an original door panel. This is a reproduction door panel because it's the deluxe interior that was added later. And this panel really needs to be replaced. It's there, it's staying there, but it's not fully attached, as you can see. As I mentioned, the clips up here are all broken free from the panel, need to be replaced. I would just buy a new door panel. They're readily available, reproductions, CJ Pony Parts and other outfits like that. So I wanted to point that out while we're here. Seat belts, both front and rear, which is a nice feature. Another nice feature that the car has, if you haven't noticed it already, is air conditioning. That is the dealer installed air conditioner. It looks exactly like the one the Ford factory would have installed had the car been ordered with air conditioning originally. But we know that this was dealer installed when the car was new because, again, we have the notation of that on the original window sticker. And I'll show you that when we get to the trunk, the binders of receipts that I have. So this was installed at the dealer in Pasadena in 1966. It's a correct AC unit for the 66 Mustang. A later custom auto sound AM/FM stereo has been installed in the factory hole, so there's been no modifications done to that dashboard. Beautiful steering wheel. It looks brand new to me. And then you have that 1966 only dash cluster, which I was mentioning earlier is unique to the 1966, and it's one of the reasons why I like the 1966. 31,737. We're going to assume, or we know now, that the car has gone over 100,000 miles, so that's 131,737. But everything in this car has been rebuilt. I believe I have a receipt for the engine being rebuilt in the 1990s also. We have tons and tons of documentation on this car. The wood graining on these bezels are indicative of the deluxe interior option. Otherwise, this would have been like a crinkle finish black. I had a 66 Mustang back in the 80s, so I know these cars pretty well. Kenwood speakers added to the rear shelf for that stereo up front. That's a matter of taste, I get it, but easily resolved. If you wanted to bring the car back to a complete factory look, just remove the speakers and replace that shelf. Again, readily available. The headliner in the car looks brand new. I'm assuming it's been replaced at one time. Those visors too, brand new condition. The mirror, it goes on and on. We've got the automatic, I believe that's a C4 automatic transmission, and a nice addition of a console here with a cup holder that's easily removed if you didn't like the aftermarket look, but I think it's pretty functional. It's nice to have an armrest in a 1960s car. Everything closes nicely. Keys here. 1966 only gas cap. A lot of nice features on the 66. So here's the trunk. Nicely sorted, nicely detailed. We've got the correct plaid coverings here. While I'm thinking of it, under here is in great shape. All original sheet metal. Still has that original cardboard there, which you never see. And as most of us know, right here is the top of the gas tank. Someone put some padding there for some added protection, I assume, or maybe some sound deadening from the sloshing gas. As most of you know, the early Mustangs and Falcons and Mercury Comets used the top of the gas tank as the trunk floor. Literally the top of the gas tank was the trunk floor. It was the 1960s after all. So there I go. I've got two thick binders of receipts and history on this car. Quick little synopsis of the history here. A write-up about the car being sold new in Pasadena. Bunch of receipts. Goes on and on and on. This is the older stuff here with a picture of the car after it was done. Probably from the late 1990s. Here's our original window sticker showing the car being delivered and sold at Pasadena Motors in Pasadena, California. And then right here, the dealer edition of air conditioning and vinyl roof. So the AC and the vinyl roof were added at the dealer. And there's the Tahoe turquoise listed there as the original color. Car had California emissions, cruise-matic transmission, power steering, tinted windshield. All kinds of stuff here. There's a picture of the car before it was painted. And as you can see, no body filler there. And here's a picture of the car after its 1997 restoration with the standard interior, which, by the way, looks beautiful. I probably would have left it, although I'm a huge fan of the deluxe interior also. But you can see the car was nicely done. Receipt after receipt after receipt. All the car's registrations back to day one, showing the original owner having the car until 1994. And by the way, in 1994, the car had just 74,000 miles on it. So he drove it, original owner drove it sparingly. It lived a privileged life in California, no doubt. 289 under the hood, which is a prerequisite for an early Mustang, I think. Show you that. We'll fire it up real quick. There we go. Nicely sorted engine bay. That original Ford AC compressor. We've got a power steering pump under there. Power brakes with a dual master cylinder. Very, very clean. It's like an aluminum radiator replacement, which is common. Nicely sorted car. Very, very turnkey. Start it up for you now. It's even got a car-like glass there for a windshield. Power disc brakes as it states there on the pedal. The car is nicely equipped. Radio works fine. Gauges all work. Everything comes up the way it should. The air conditioning does kick on, but it's not blowing as cold as I'd like it to be. So I have an appointment to bring it to my guys this week to have the air conditioning charged. As I said, it kicks on and it blows, but not quite as cold as it should. So I'll hopefully have that all sorted for you real quick. Other than that, the car is completely operable. As you can see, it runs really good. No crazy leaks, no noises or smoke. Cars coming up on a yard sale pretty soon. These cars didn't quite cut the muster here at Orphan Car Garage, so that's going to be a unique opportunity for you guys to pick these up relatively inexpensively. Both of them are Thunderbirds. The 1976 in jade green, it's a one-owner car with just 61,000 miles on it. And the 1966 Town Landau up there, that's a very nice car, nice driver quality car, but will need a little bit of love that we're just not going to have time to give it. So both these cars are going to be coming up really soon in our garage sale, yard sale section of the website. We will be doing videos on both of them, revealing their affordable pricing. Speaking of pricing, this 1966 Tahoe turquoise Mustang two-door sedan, two-door coupe. Beautiful car, beautiful example. California most of its life, Texas, Louisiana. Just a great pedigree here. Turnkey car, V8, air conditioning, deluxe interior, vinyl roof. yada, yada, yada. $28,900. $28,900 for this 1966 iconic Mustang. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. Check this car out on my website. Got a full gallery of photos there, including the undercarriage, which is in beautiful shape, by the way. All original under there, too. Not a speck of rust. www.orphancargarage.com. Like us on Facebook. All our new arrivals get posted there. And, of course, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Appreciate all the support. Until the next one, and we've got some really cool stuff coming up real soon, so you're going to want to stick around. We'll see you guys down the road. Thank you.